hadn't eaten in a bit. I've been busy doing my other various projects, and finally it was like, hey, I can finally get rolling and doing good things. And my guest here is the great Rhonda Jackson Garcia. We have something in common.
What is that?
We both teach at the Speculative Fiction Academy.
Very nice. Yes, that is the thing, right?
That's how we met. Yes, that is totally how we met. So this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, is sponsored by the Speculative Fiction Academy. And next week, I will be giving away a free coupon for people to purchase a course. So to enter the coupon, what I'm going to be doing on Twitch, and I'll be mentioning this going forward, so when people do show up again, is comment and see if you're interested in learning a fiction course. They'll be entered for a draw. That will start next week. But for now, I'm with writer, teacher extraordinaire, possible rock star. I don't know yet.
I don't know.
Hey, I have always been pleasantly surprised by all my guests, but it's the one, the only Rhonda Jackson Garcia. How you doing, Rhonda? I'm
good. How are you?
As you can tell, I'm a very serious individual. A very, very serious individual. Why not?
Why not? I don't know. I'm not buying that. I'm not.
I wouldn't be buying that either, to be perfectly honest with you. No, I just do my thing, and I'm naturally a very, very, very silly individual, truthfully.
Well, it works. It works. It's so authentic, and I like silly.
Yeah, well, still, no. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, find anybody that'll tell you that, you want to buy something. Nah, no one wants to buy anything. But tell me you don't want to play a game. I'm like, you're a liar. Right. You, my friend, a liar. It's just finding the game that you like to play. That's the challenge.
There, exactly.
Yeah,
I dig it.
So let's see. I know absolutely nothing about you, Miss Rhonda. So tell me in like a paragraph. We're gonna put these on the spot here in a paragraph or less why you are awesome and possibly made of cheese.
Well, I am awesome because I'm a writer. I've been doing that for a really long time. So I mostly write horror. I think I'm okay at it. I've been doing it. I'm not going to tell you for how long, but it's a really, really super long time. Yeah. And I also teach. And so, and I don't have to tell you how rewarding that can be, is also as maddening as it can be. And I keep doing it. I keep doing these things, writing and teaching, regardless to what's happening in the universe. So I think that in itself is just really super spectacular, because it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to keep going.
Yes. So let's talk like the big microcosm. We're not going to go into the perils of our time, because our time is crazy. Let's just put it. Pardon me. There you go. Our time is crazy, but I remember. So when this pandemic started, the book I remembered was Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Mm-hmm. And I didn't remember it just because of the message in the book, but I remember it when he did the book. He didn't do the book when it was nice. He did most of what would become Mere Christianity on the radio, on the air, during a time of when London was being bombed by the Germans. Mm-hmm. So on the one hand, it's almost the same thing. Like, what the fuck am I doing, right? Because if I'm doing this, Germans are bombing us, and why are we doing this now? And I think one of the biggest lessons about that and this time is there is no such thing as a right time.
Right.
Right? There isn't. There isn't. So you're here to do what you're here to do, and you owe it to yourself to like fucking do it. And so it's hard sometimes because you're like, as a writer, the big thing is like, is anybody really going to give a damn what I'm going to say? The answer is always yes.
Yes.
Right. It's a legitimate question you ask.
Yeah.
And the second part of it is, and this is the part that makes it really, really difficult for a lot of people. It's not like, will it make a difference? And again, the answer is the same damn thing. It's yes, right? But you're not always going to see it. It's one of those. A lot of things are actions or choices now. We don't see the result right away. We see the result in the days, the weeks, the months, the years to come. Absolutely. That's how it works. That you don't see an immediate response. You don't see. There's no such thing as instant gratification as change. It just changes all around us, all the time.
Yes.
You sound like you needed to hear this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a thing that it's easier to embrace. Just understanding that it is what it is. I actually think that a lot of us creatives are more prolific at times like this, like when you're thinking that, oh, I wouldn't be. It's other stuff that kind of gets in the way, right? Like for me, it's the addition of new duties or change duties. That's more like a time thing, but my brain is always going. And I think that for so many of us, we have these things we're charged with doing. And sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming, but you kind of just have to do it because, like you said, there's never any perfect time. I think I heard somebody say that about like having kids, that there's really, if you plan to do it, there's kind of no perfect time to do that. You think it is, even though you think everything's all set up and, you know, you're getting ready to write, you have your cozy slippers, you have your bourbon, you have your nice music, the temperature's right in the room. There's always going to be something wrong. It's always going to be something that's not quite perfect.
So that's how you write. You got bourbon going on. It's a warm room, and I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
No. I wish, because that's like the perfect scenario, right? The reality is I have a house full of teenagers. I have a crazy dog. They're all very loud. I have a husband who's a truck driver, and so it's kind of me on deck most of the time. And so, no, I hardly ever get to write like that. I'm doing good if I get to type with one finger while fixing something for one of the teams and texting another one with another, you know, part of the third hand I'm going to grow. So, yeah, that's the ideal.
So you balance. So you balance everything out, and you're the voice of sanity. Oh gosh, that must be
exactly right. It's kind of funny when you say that, because I'm like, yeah, that's why we're all in trouble, because if I'm all we got, yeah.
So Rhonda, then when did you realize you were the adult in the room, and what did you drink when you came to that conclusion? Because I had one of those epiphanies when I had a day job. I actually did an adult thing. And I was annoyed that I was doing the adult thing, because it was like, I was annoyed because it was it was right obvious. It was so obvious. Like, just why don't you do it? I don't want to be that. But no, it wasn't going to be it. It had to be me. And it was like, God damn it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And afterwards, it's like, I am mad at all of you. And they go, why? You made me the adult. I don't come here to be the adult. If I wanted to be the adult, I wanted to be in charge. I don't want to be in charge.
Right.
That's too much like fucking work. What did you do? You put me in the spot.
Yeah. And there are times. I think one time that I think about even being a horror writer. I was teaching in a classroom on Saturdays when I was adjuncting, and you know, these are like 3-hour-long classes, right? And so we were all hunkered down, and there was this huge spider, like in the room, and I'm like, I'm on my way out. Look, y'all better catch up, and you better come on. If you're coming, let's go. And so they're kind of looking at me like, but professor, we're supposed to be, don't we? No, this is now the spider's room. And I'm just, we're not going to do it. But then, of course, it crawls like right in front of the door, right? And then I'm having to try to figure out, like, they're looking at me, I'm looking at them, nobody's moving. And I thought, okay, wait, how much liability would this be? How much catch it up would we have to do if we actually skip class today? And so I had to try to wrangle and work with a couple of people to get like the the wastebasket turned over on it. Like we left it there. We just kind of hurtled over the basket when we got ready to go. But I mean, it stayed and we put some books on top of it. I mean, but I was thinking the whole time, why do I have to be the one to get the spider?
I'm really torn how to respond to this. Because I'll go with the obvious question. How big was the spider? Like give me a size.
Okay, see, now of course in my mind it was like this big, right? I know that it really wasn't quite that big. I mean, it was big enough. It was big enough that we could see it across the room. Like that's how I saw it. It was on that little industrial carpet that they have. Yeah, and I could see it like just with my regular glasses, not the best eyesight. So it was big enough. Like it had to be at least this size, at least. I mean, and that's not me exaggerating because if I could see it with just these,
I don't know you well enough to make fun of you, so I'm really torn what to do here. I'm gonna make fun of you anyway.
You might have to, because
I don't know you well enough, but I think I'm gonna have to. Because this is what I got in my head, okay? So this is what I got in my head. Spider isn't gonna jump up and bite you.
Woo,
and your reaction is just like priceless. And so I'm being very practical and logical here. The simplest solution is to get a broom and a dustpan. If you want the spider to live, you scoop it into the dustpan, you put it on its way. See, and look on your face. Look on your face is amazing.
No. Yeah.
Right? Hell no. Like, it's not even just a no, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hell no, right?
No. Well, and besides that, even if I could have had the foresight to think of that, like, there wasn't anything long enough in the classroom. Oh, believe me, we looked. Yeah.
Okay. This still doesn't give you a full pass. And here's why. Because right now I have this vision of a spider this big.
Yeah.
This big. In a garbage can.
Yeah.
With books on top of it. Mm-hmm. And people playing Frogger with the trash can getting in and out of the classroom. And
that's what it was.
That's what
exactly what it was.
So I'm of this really strange mindset that, and this is where I'm going to be making fun of you just a touch, that you see, you played Frogger. I don't know if playing Frogger with the trash can is a win. I'm just saying. I don't know if I could call that a victory.
No, no, it is for the spider. The spider won that day. They won all the way.
But I don't even think the spider was trying to play. That's what it makes it kind of like no matter how you look at this, like, right? The spider is just minding its own damn business. It doesn't give a rat's ass about class or not. Right. It's just there doing its thing. Right. So that's it.
Yeah.
So then again, going back to you. Again, maybe it wouldn't be a broom, maybe, right? But the spider, I mean, you could step over the spider. You could see again the look on the face.
Nope.
It's just awesome. It's awesome. I'm just being very I know this might be like me being maybe a touch. I'm not a horror writer. I do write science fiction, fantasy. But so it doesn't mean I don't think of weird stuff too. But I'm just saying, I think if I had a choice between playing like Frogger with a trash can or stepping over a spider, I think I just would step over the spider. Now, I might be a simple soul, right? I'm
practical. It is. It's very practical. But in my brain, in my head, that was not happening. And I don't do well with critters, which is terrible because where I live, well, I mean, it's Texas.
You're in Texas. You're in Texas. There's lots of stuff there.
I don't do critters, and man, I really don't do bugs unless I can look at them like on the screen or like from far away. Oh no, that was a no-go. And I didn't want to kill it either because like you say, it's just minding its business. I didn't want to kill it, but I didn't want it to come any further into the room. I didn't want it to hitch a ride on anything. And in my brain, that's what it was going to do, right? It was going to jump on us. It's going to climb up on the black whiteboard, like on the marker I was using in my hand, you know, like these are the things that go through my brain is like, somebody get it, somebody do something. Oh, wait, y'all are waiting on me. Well, of course they wanted me to cancel class, right?
Well, no, well, it's not even that. Like, you're technically the leader.
Yeah.
So you are creating the example that everybody else is going to follow.
So we all jumped over the trash can.
Yeah, so that's it. And I would have looked at you and have been like, really? Like, you know?
I had a class of, and it was a pretty small class, don't get me wrong, maybe 7 or 8 people. I had a class of 7 to 8 people who all were thinking just like I was, like just like that. They were just like that.
So you just missed a heck of a spider story involving like and I don't know her well enough to make fun of her yet, so I'm feeling really torn about this. Right. So I'm just mentioning this out because I am making fun of her because really there's no other way to go here. I literally have no other way out. Right. So I'm just doing it, but I almost see I won't. But okay, so I got a story, not that story, another story. Mm-hmm. I used to work for a bookstore. So one of my jobs was I would kill the many mice that would come in, the various like critters that would come in, and that would include bugs. So because you have to.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. So that was part of my deal, and so I remember this. They had this the writer's wife. I'm not naming names because we did not end on the best of terms. But so we're just gonna leave it at that. But she hired us. I still remember this assistant. She said, "You guys a bug." She would go to me, and I'm like, "Where?" Because I wouldn't see it. So at times, like it's, and I looked at the book, and I looked at it in proportions to this fully grown woman or very nearly fully grown woman, and I'd be like, you know, I think you can do a lot more to the bug than the bug can do to you. Now, now again, I'm a very silly. Yeah. I am too old. I am too old to like, I do have an imagination. Don't get me wrong. It's just, and it's also, it's a spider. It's not like one of the really scary things down in there, like Arizona and Texas. I mean, the things that actually eat the spiders are far scarier than the spiders themselves.
This is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. So, those are scary. I mean, some of them look big enough to be dinner. But that all said, it's just one of those deals. I just look at it and go, at the end of the day, it's still a bug, right? And again, that's me, and I know that might be strange, but that, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Rhonda.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay because
I'm just gonna have you playing Frogger over a trash can for the rest of the time I know you.
Yes, hey. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What we did.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So as an adult, I mean, you passed the test, but I'm not sure you got an A.
It's okay. You know, I tell my students all the time, take what you can get. Pass. Did you pass? Did you pass? You passed. This is great.
Okay. As long as you're good with that, we can move on and talk.
I'm gonna take my little D+ and I'm gonna keep it pushing.
High five, digital high five. Come on. Right, but I mean, that's fine. That's fine. And you're not mad at me for making fun of you.
No, of course not. No. Oh no, because you can just imagine when I told my husband, he was all like, "Really?"
Yeah.
He knows, but he knows me. And then he was like, well, yeah, you did that because, yeah, I mean, I refused to go in our room one night when I heard a grasshopper in there. And so he told me he caught the grasshopper, and I was like, no, you didn't. You're just telling me that, so I'll come to bed. I was like, show it to me. And he had not caught the grasshopper. When he did catch I mean, I knew the thing was huge. He caught the Now, that thing was really long. I was like, you really thought that I was going to go and get to bed and close my eyes with something like that running around? So, no, there's certain critters I really can't do. So he was like, yeah, I know you did that. You really did that. What he was surprised about was that the students also kind of played along. And I was like,
actually, that is a little shocking to me.
No, they didn't want no part 70s. I really think they thought I was going to cancel class, though, because, I mean, they were probably like, hey, if we help her, then that means we got to do work. But we figured it out. Me and another one of them, we flipped the can over on it, and it was like, okay, that's fine. So we still had to have class.
I don't know why, but this story is awesome to me. I don't know why. It's just there's a certain hysteria to it that
yes, and yes, you're feeling that because it was all there. It was all there.
No, I just Now sorry, it's not gonna be like the apocalyptic horror that was you. It's me trying to keep a straight face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because in all fairness, okay, I get it. We all have kryptonites. We all do.
Yes.
Right? We all do. But I just think it's the Frogger can thing. It's not that you were afraid of the bug. It's the Frogger can, and that's just the way I see it. It's like, and again, Frogger and bugs in the same story is not something I ever anticipated ever seeing, but
I don't know. You put them together, right? They came together.
I might steal that somewhere. I'm just saying. I might just do that because
you may have to do that.
I even know the story where I would do that too. Like it would make total sense for it to be there, and they would look at me and say, "This can't be real." It's like, oh, but I assure you, it is real.
Yes.
The best humor is like the best humor is real life.
I think so, right?
Well, real life's so absurd. It is one of the most absurd things every day. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. Yes. There are stories. I don't know that they're all as entertaining as that, but man, if there's a critter involved, I just can't deal with it.
Okay. Y'all have to. That I'm not going to make fun of you for.
Yeah.
Frogger, yes. But,
yes.
Yeah.
See, now I got to read this story. Whenever you do it, I need to read it. I just want to see what you do with that. Okay.
Yeah. I already
it's
know.
all you.
No, I will make sure it's my video game series, then my video game series where I put this in because I was going to do a homage to Pac-Man. Now I got to do a homage to Frogger. So just so you know.
Yeah, I think you got to do
That's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be bug-related Frogger.
Okay.
That is the most batshit thing I've thought about all day.
Well, okay. I love it.
Yeah. Like I said, we again, it's an absurd world. You have to have fun with it on some level.
Exactly. Well,
and Jag, if I traumatized you, I'm sorry. I'm going to just say that. I hope I didn't traumatize you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No. This is the stories in the trenches.
Yeah. So what do you teach? What do you normally teach?
I teach English classes. So composition, creative writing. I get to teach a real cool women in horror class for the English department. Couple of honors classes, writing workshops, things like that. All the good stuff.
So you get to have people. You realize now I have horror, like ladies in a horror. Oh man, I now have taken this to the next level. So this is what I'll do. It's just in honor of you. You'll be in a Halloween costume, probably some kind of witch's hat.
Okay.
I somehow I feel you dig this.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll have all the various famous monsters behind you also playing Frogger. Right, we'll have a zombie, a Frankenstein, a Dracula. a Cthulhu, you know, just right.
Okay.
Right. We'll just
this image. Like,
why not? Like I said, if you're gonna take it, you might as well just go.
Why not? I think that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have fun with this.
I think you need to do that. Like, you done flesh this whole thing out. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You got to do that.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be a Frogger apocalypse with a giant bug and a trash can and people hopping over it.
Okay.
Right? Right. Because and it's going to be monsters. Just Frankenstein monsters. We need to get out of here. How? You got to hop over. And then you just watch Frankenstein and the zombie and everybody else. It's just, yeah. It's just, yeah.
Oh, man. I dig it. I think you got to do it. You got to run.
I think so too.
Put it into the universe. Now you got to do it.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things. It's right up there. I came up with a male stripper story called Obsidian Pancakes, right? So I get maybe I'll just throw it. I might as well just throw it. I might as well just throw all the absurd stuff in like one story. Just
why not?
One story.
Why not?
Just have a blast. Completely like break everybody's brain, including my own. And then
okay, that's gonna be funny.
Yeah. Nail stripping, Frogger apocalypse, same story. Why the fuck not?
Same story. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So, university level then? Like, is what you teach?
Yeah, I teach at a college, a community college.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I did a community college in Arizona, Northland Pioneer College.
So
I did magazine design there, and I actually learned how to make video there. But I will say though, chances are you guys don't get enough funding because it's like there's a nod ahead there. It's like yep.
Yeah. Money's always and I guess it's there's just so many creative ways to kind of work around that though, you know. If you go really old school, you don't have to worry about, not having the tech, not having the, whatnot. So yeah, you just go real old school and then it kind of works out.
Yeah, it kind of works out. It's like, it kind of works out,
Kinda.
You bring your bourbon into class at that point. Listen, we got no money, so we're going to drink it and we're going to do it old fashioned way.
Oh man. Yes. Well, I'm always carrying my mug in class, like every morning, and they swear there's something crazy in there. And I'm like, man, no, I really have coffee. I really have tea. And yeah, I'm looking at them and I'm like, there is not enough alcohol in the world to make this okay, especially not on a Monday morning. So no.
Well, you're like, I wish. Don't make me upset, guys.
Yes, I wish. And that's a good thing about teaching college. I can say that to them, right? Because like I have a whole armful of stuff, and if something falls, it won't be my cup. And so a couple of students are like, Professor Rhonda didn't drop that cup. What's in that cup? It's like, mind your business. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's my happy juice, okay?
Don't worry about it.
It's my happy juice.
Exactly.
You're not touching my happy juice. That's
exactly.
It.
And it's just tea or coffee, but I can right.
Hey, you might as well have fun. Look, I mean, the cool thing about college is like no one really. I say this in the best possible way. No one gives a shit.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
As long as you're not doing anything crazy that will get get folks in trouble or catch a case, they really don't care. They don't know if it's a part of your whole aesthetic, your teaching. They don't know.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the tuition's been paid, so everybody's getting paid. So I mean, this is the reality also of college. They've already taken your money. They don't care. They don't care. Yeah. At the same token, right? At the same token, right? This is one of the biggest life lessons too, right? It's really only like, okay, you're here. Now what do you do with it?
Exactly. You're right. Exactly. Like there's so much. I think that's one of the biggest things that I find students struggle with is the idea that they're already there. Like all the things that they think are important, that's not important. It's not important whether or not I'm going to get paid on the, middle of the month and the last day of the month. That's going to happen. I have a contract. They don't think about the things that happen as soon as they signed up. As like, you have the choices. This is you. You be proactive. Sometimes that choice means that you decide it's not for you. Right. There are a lot of students that come through there that I will clearly say to the whole class, all my classes, don't feel like a failure if this doesn't work out. College ain't for everybody. But sometimes you have to actually go to figure that out. Now, once you figure it out, you don't need to waste any more time or money. You might want to think about doing something a little bit different,
Absolutely. No, that's totally it. Or it's a funny thing. I mean, this is, again, I was a flake in college. First time. Second time, I wasn't a flake in college. The course was sometimes a bigger flake. You ever have one of those courses you pay for, you take it, and somehow you end up teaching it a little bit? That was me.
Yeah, no, that was you. Yeah, I haven't had that experience, but I can imagine.
Well, again, it's like something we just said, right? Like, you guys don't always the money isn't always there, and sometimes, and I know this too, if it's a brand new curriculum, the teacher is sometimes figuring it out as much as the students.
Sure, absolutely.
And that can be, if the teacher's great, and I will say this, one of the first year I was there, one of my two teachers was fantastic. The other one, well, he tried. He tried. Wow. He tried. That's all I'm gonna say is he tried.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So, but one of them, the other one, she's great, but she's not a technical. We needed someone to teach technology. So what ended up happening is, since first year, myself and one buddy, we basically learned Photoshop and InDesign pretty much ourselves.
Oh wow!
I learned, right, and then the second year. My buddy was supposed to end up teaching the course. He ended up going back to the Army. So they had no teacher for the first day. So here I am taking a course. Now, can you please teach it? I shit you not. I shit you not.
Wow.
I actually have experience teaching at a college level, and I did it for the first time at 25.
Yeah.
It was like, I never thought I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
And this is a great, but I mean, I ended up teaching him for one day. Then they got somebody else. He was good, but he was the same thing. He had to figure out, because it was a brand new teacher, you have to figure out the curriculum to figure out how to teach properly. They got it. By the end of the year, it was a great program. But I gone through 2 years of, and I know there's a lot of students who go through this 1 to 2 years of, I'm not sure our teachers know what they're doing. Yeah, and that's a hard. It happens. Well, it does happen quite a bit.
Does. Oh, it does happen, and I think too, though, that so many of us on the instructional side are just not willing to tell the students, I struggle too, right? Or I'm having a hard time too. I find that that's one of the things that I'm doing on the first few days is telling them I'm not above you. I've just been in school longer. I actually have the degrees. I have some ideas about stuff, but so do you. Right. But I need you to give me some grace and mercy, because every day I come in here, I'm not going to be on top of it. And I need you to kind of roll with me on that. I'll give you grace and mercy. You give me some grace and mercy. Now, I do know what I'm talking about. I know my stuff. But every day, I mean, there's stuff that happens. And I think so many teachers try so hard to maintain this distance until it's kind of like, the teachers are here and then the students are like here. But in reality, we're all kind of like here. Right. And so, yeah, but sometimes you have the burnout. I mean, I would never call anybody by name, but of course I've worked with people who they were just burned out. And they needed a paycheck, but you could tell by the way they teach the classes that it's just the spark is gone. The students aren't doing anything. They're not learning anything. And they don't always know, but there's always a couple of students that are kind of like, this is composition, but we're not writing any, we're not composing anything. But you know, it happens for lots of reasons, you know?
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing, teachers' primary job is to do. This is the primary job. It's not even teaching your subject matter, because that can be, we'll just say that can be a crapshoot for everybody involved sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Your job is to give the people who need it permission to do it. Right?
I like the way you put that. Exactly.
Yeah, the people who need it permission to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that need permission in this world. I don't know why. Because but again, this isn't about me mostly. Right. So it's my show, so I can't say it's not about me, but
but I dig it. I agree.
That's it. Like when you're up there, you're basically the best example of I can do it, you can too. And you should. That's what you bring to the table more than anything else.
Yeah.
When that's your biggest job. Your second biggest job is assholes like me who don't need. So I don't need your stinking permission. You're like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, you're like, okay, you don't need permission, but have you thought about this?
Right.
Right. And sometimes you will stump a guy like me, and that's what you need to do. You need to stump us motherfuckers, because it's the only way we're going to respect you. Right. And then, and
yes.
Yeah. This is it. We also could be your favorite kind of student, but because we'll challenge you and you will learn, and you dig that almost as much as you dig teaching.
Exactly.
Right? You like helping people, but you want you're there to learn too. It never stops.
We're lifelong learners. Well, we should be. Right. I think that's what makes an effective teacher. You have to like learning. You have to enjoy learning. I'm with you. Some classes I learn more than I think I've actually, helped the students to discover. But I tell them it's not my job to just open up your skull cap and like toss some glitter around in it and close it back. That is not my job. It's my job to help you use what you already have and to help you give tools to be able to write effectively. That's it. I'm not here to do anything else. Yeah. And if any of my students were tuning in, they'd be like, yep, that's what she tells us all the time.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's not my job. You already have stuff in there. Use the stuff you have.
Quick aside. So glitter is like, this is like, I say most nonsensical talks I've ever come out of my show. Glitter is one of the most common things. Right? Really?
Is it that
at the time it was a 16-year-old pop singer that came up with it first. Then the second time it came out was the fact that glitter gets everywhere and you can't get rid of it, which is so true. Which is why it's frightening that you chose glitter of all things, because like pour into your brain, you will never forget. Never. Right? And it's like, oh my God.
Right. It never goes away. It doesn't go away.
No. So when you said that, I was like, really? Okay. So Rhonda Garcia, she will make sure you'll never forget.
You'll never forget any of it. It's already there. Like, I'm not going to put it there. You already got it there. Because it's everywhere, right?
That's right. It's everywhere. It's just and it never goes away. You'll never get all the sparkles out. It's all never. It's going to be sparkly forever. Dear God, where has this conversation gone? but ladies and gentlemen, we went from bugs to glitter in 30 minutes. Literally. So
I like it. Good. That was a good trajectory. I like it.
It's an interesting trajectory. Yeah. No, but going back, like basically, like I realized this because I was doing presentations, and my favorite presentation I've ever done. You'll dig this. I know you'll dig this. We did what we call a Dr. Seuss off. Now here's how this works.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me more.
She's like, I'm gonna pop at this. So. Once upon a time, I had the incredibly talented Vanessa Cardui and me do a Fox and Socks battle. We actually did a tongue twisting like variation on Fox and Socks and just how we said it and did it. it was very quietly amazing. People that watched us, we was like, this is really cool. We did this on an open mic. So I took it to I took it to the next level. I actually did a whole presentation where I got grown-ass adults to come in and recite various Dr. Seuss books in their own style, and I was a prop. It's like it's like
really.
Why not?
Yeah,
we said this. It goes back to something I said at the very beginning. Show me a person who says they hate to play, and I will show you a liar. So, right. So you're watching these big, giant, serious authors slowly get into this. And once they're in, man, they're all the way in. I've seen an operatic Cat in the Hat. I saw. Oh no. Yeah. Yes. Oh yes. I saw. Okay, Fox and Socks in a Russian accent. A Valley Girl off of Fox and Socks.
Wow.
You're like, I'm in. Like I like now. You're like, I wish I could go to one of these.
I mean, I'm like, that's kind of okay. I kind of want to see that. I'd like to see that.
I make you play. It's like, here you go. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I make you do it. It's like, you see. I also think this with you. It's like, you kind of want to be in the background. Something that I did that clicked, but but here's the truth. Even though as we're writers, and yes, we don't have to be like A-list celebrities that are on the air 24/7 promoting our products. Right. The truth of the matter is, we have a voice, and we need to make sure it's heard. So that means putting yourself in the uncomfortable position of going to the world. Here I stand, doing this absurd, crazy thing because it's fun.
Yes,
and you need that. And something that just clicked with me about you is you don't do it enough, and you should, because you have a great, and I'm being straight with you. You got an amazing personality. You're charming. You're colorful.
Thank you.
You're right, and you have your own unique way of seeing the world. You should never be afraid to show it to anybody. You got nothing to be ashamed. You got nothing to be ashamed of. You can be the most amazing, most post-apocalyptic horror writer ever. I somehow feel most of how you'd express yourself would involve Legos and Slinkies, but that's okay.
It's okay. I dig it. Yeah, probably not.
No. Right, but you'd be looking to have fun. So what I'm telling you, and this is me going on the air as a host, because I feel like you almost need your own little bit of permission. You should, because it's the way you'll get noticed. It's the way people will recognize. You're an amazing human being, more so than you are an amazing writer. Let people get to know that human being just a little bit, so that they can actually they'll go invest in you.
I take it. I get it. I'm not going to say that it's comfortable, but
no. I didn't say it was comfortable.
You didn't say that part.
Nor would I ever tell you it's that part. But what I am going to tell you is, and you got to practice, Miss Teacher, in front of a classroom, which is not that different from being in front of an audience. Actually, almost in many ways, it's the same thing.
It kind of is. And it's all the weird thing is, I think that when people see us doing that, they think that it's easy. And it's like, no, I go and run to my office right after because I got to debrief. Like if I have 2 classes in a row, that's too much. It's too much to be on for like 3 straight hours, So yeah, I really am that writer that's like, let me go back. Let me just go back. Let's just go back. Let's go in. Let's close the door. And matter of fact, let's turn off the lights. Let's just kind of chill. Let's not talk. Let's not do any of that.
Let's put on awkward elevator music, and I'm just going to listen to that for 15 minutes.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And at cons, like I can turn on when I have to, but it's exhausting, right?
Sure.
So what you're saying is like, I'm like, yep, that sounds about right. It's spot on. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
You're like, damn it.
Well, I mean, and there are very few people. And my family is like, yeah, she's just goofy as all hell. But I mean, there's very few people that are kind of like, she actually is quieter than I thought. I talk a lot, but not really. Not all the time.
No. See, for you, you're jovial because you're always, again, I will call this a Peter Parker syndrome. A little bit Peter Parker syndrome. So when Spider-Man's fighting crime, right? He's telling jokes. Not all of them are good.
Right.
But he's telling jokes. Why is he telling jokes? Because he's scared to death. I mean, seriously, wouldn't you be?
Yes.
He's getting shot at by random dumbass strangers. So, I mean, you gotta do something to keep your sanity.
Exactly.
So he tells jokes. You're the same way. You're like, I'm very nervous about this situation. What do? Well, I'm gonna talk about fucking glitter. Why? Because it's gonna calm me the fuck down.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. It works.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's okay. Like, and again, understanding that, right? Because you do have to be, I'm not going to say necessarily the loudest person in the room, but you have to be the most authentic version of yourself in the room.
You really do. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't do that being silent. That's not you either. You got to be that person. You don't have to be on. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be.
Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Let's see.
There he goes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was like,
okay,
wait a minute.
I'll say this again. I pulled the cord, damn it. Okay, so what I basically said was when you're in the room, that is your opportunity to tell the world, here you are. In your case, especially in your case, you need to. Right? You need to a little bit more than you do it. Yes, it's uncomfortable as fuck. All right.
It is. It is.
It really but you're a teacher, and you know this as well. A student will not pay attention unless you are as engaged as they are. If you appear disengaged, they will be too.
Absolutely.
It's true in a convention too.
Yep.
It's absolutely the truth.
Yep.
You have to be engaged. You have to be engaged. You don't have to be loud. You can be quiet. You could be talking about glitter. You could be talking about ice cream. You could be talking about potatoes. It doesn't matter.
Potatoes and ice cream, right? Yeah.
Do I not? Hey, listen, Monster Mash Frogger with potatoes and ice. I'm sure.
I mean, all of that. Yes. Well, and I think, and you're absolutely right. And this is something that, I mean, I have battled with like the whole time. Like I will tell my husband, like, okay, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And he'll kind of look at me. This is his patented look. Really, mommy? Yeah, really. I'm really gonna, and I'm gonna. And then he's like, but then you have to actually go. It's like, you'll actually have to do the thing. And then I'm going, okay, so maybe I'll just do a little bit. Because it's easy and worse.
I get the feeling your husband and I would be good friends. I get that feeling.
I think you might be right. Yes, because he is just like, I know you and I hear what you're saying, but I don't know that it's going to work out the way you think it's going to work out.
So what if it doesn't?
Yeah, well, he says to me, because he's like, you're saying that you're going to go and do all these things, but when you get there, you have to do the things, right? He's like, I don't know that you know that though. And so sometimes I'll go, yeah, I think it is kind of a lot. Let me do this in baby steps. Because it's easy enough to be on. Like I'm going, I'm going to be chatting with Josh. Probably be about an hour and a half, maybe a couple hours tops, something like that. Because, of course, that I went and looked at a couple of your other shows, right? And I was like, okay, I can do this. This is great. I can do that. But if it were going to be like a a convention, I would literally check my schedule and go, okay, I got to be on at this time, these hours, okay, I can do that. Let me muster up enough energy for that. And then if I have any left, then I'll go and, crawl the halls, right? Or I'll go to the bar. Past couple of, well, it's a pandemic. That's kind of different because there's a different reason. But before the pandemic, if I was at a convention, sometimes people just don't see me. They're like, we saw her on that panel. Where did she go? Well, because I'm gone. It's too much. I'm done. I got to go back to my room, decompress, and then I'll come back out later, And so it's a thing that I've struggled with because you're right. Like, you got to let people know that you're there. So I've kind of tried to inch out, come out. We're going to do this. And it helps when you actually are vibing with the people that you're talking to,
Mm-hmm.
I've been very fortunate that I haven't had interviews where it was all creepy and crazy. Like, no, everybody's been really cool. So it's like, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate with you, but not right away. I'm going to first go with what you're saying, because I think some of what you're saying is absolutely dead on. Especially at first, it's okay to take baby steps to kind of figure out where you are in the lay of the land. Yeah. And I feel like in your case, that's a good idea. My thing with you, and this is where I'm going to kind of push back on you a little bit. I hope you're okay with this. I know we don't know each other that well. I had this epiphany about imposter syndrome, fear of failure, and fear of success. It's the same fear.
Yeah.
It's a fear of change.
Yes.
So applying this to here. Right? So we don't really control our outcomes very much. That's not really our job, thank God.
Right.
But our job is when we're in and we're doing something. We are putting our best foot forward.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest pieces of advice my dad gave me when I was a kid is just do your best.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Honestly, if you can do that with everything you do, and that's the only expectation you have, that will take you very far in of itself.
Sure. If.
Right?
Right. If.
And that's where I'm going to come back to.
Yeah. You. That word's doing a lot of work there. If. Yeah.
It is. It's doing a lot of work. So I'm talking about you. So I'm gonna push this on expectations. My question is going to be this. Are you putting the right kind of expectations on yourself when you're going to a convention? Are you giving yourself the best opportunities to succeed? And I'm putting it like that.
Yeah, probably not. And I say that because you say imposter syndrome, and this is a thing that I'm always on my Twitter feed about. It's a beast. Like, that imposter syndrome is something else. And I'm going to tell you this, especially as a Black woman writing in horror in the first place. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. There's always this thought in the back of my head, oh my gosh, yeah, you wrote this thing, but what if it's really not that great? Do you really care if it's not that great? It's great to you. Even if it's not great to anybody else, this is your job. This is what you were charged with doing. You were charged with creating this thing and setting it out into the universe. And so the expectations are always, but who am I to be doing this? Like, but who are you? You've been doing this forever. And then I go back and forth in my head. I'm like, girl, you know what you're doing. Yeah, kind of know you don't. Yeah, this is great and wonderful. Yeah, but there's that one you remember that one sentence that you didn't even think about. And what about them? And so, yeah, it's a constant battle. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that what wins out is you're going to do this. You got to do it. Ain't nobody going to bite you, like nobody's going to eat you up or if you do this. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that's going to happen is you will regret not doing it if you don't. So that's kind of the thing. It's like, no regrets. This is how this goes. This is what you asked for. Like, you asked for this visibility. You asked for the opportunity to do these things. So you need to go and do them. There's this constant conversation in my head. Like my anxiety is saying one thing, the imposter syndrome saying something else. And then there's the rational little corner that's like, man, both of y'all shut up. Let me just do what I need to do.
It's like, shut the fuck up. I mean, exactly. Right.
Shut up. Yeah, shut up. So, you shut up. You. Psh, psh. So yeah, it's a constant battle. And I'm glad that the rational is winning out, because I am venturing out more. I am doing more than just, like there's there's not really any comfort. There comes a point when you outgrow the baby steps. And so then you have to take bigger steps. And so what you're saying is spot on. I mean, I get that. I mean, I'm here. And anybody that's followed anything that I've done is like, yeah, I can count on my hands the number of times. Like I've been in panels, but like the whole one-on-one thing, they're like, oh, she is really doing some stuff. Well, because I made up in my mind that those other voices, they got to shut up. They got to be quiet. I have to not pay that much attention to them, but they're there. Like they've been there. Sure. They're probably going to always be there, but I think they sort of keep me humble to a certain extent until I shut them up.
Okay. Would you like a slight tactic change? I want to point out something, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to ask, would you like possibly a different approach?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
why not?
So this podcast won the Aurora Award about 4 years ago. Kind of cool, right? This is an award-winning show, right?
Oh, nice.
I've been nominated 3 times, and I've won once.
Congratulations. Good.
Oh, thank you. So I had my little bout of imposter syndrome when I got nominated the first time. It's like, holy shit, how did I get here? Right? That's actually probably the most surreal thing about it is you somehow find yourself in this room with these amazing people, and you're like, why am I here? Like that's legitimately going through your head.
Exactly.
So you know what I did? I asked myself that question: why am I here? Mm-hmm. I came to the conclusion that so I analyzed. So I have 8 rules. I have actually now 9 rules to success. I went to 9. I actually had 9 rules.
Nice.
So the one that I'm going to talk about specifically here, I'll give you the whole rules list before the show wraps up. Is rule 5, which is get out of your fucking way. That's that right? Because
yes.
You're like that's rule 5.
Yes.
That's rule 5. And it came from this little thing. I recognized what I did very well, which is I'm very good at making an ass of myself on the air. It's a gift. It's a gift. Yeah, right?
You embrace it, yes.
I know my weaknesses too. And I'm honest enough to know what those are. But I realized, how do I get here? But more importantly, how do I come back here?
Yeah.
Right? Because here's the thing about failure. And this is the thing about failure. It's familiar. We've all had our asses kicked. You know what that's like.
Yep.
So if you fail, there is a little comfort in that.
Right. There is.
Right. There is a little comfort in that. Now, where it can hurt, is when you put everything you got into it, because there's a paradox with success, and that's rule 4. I call it the rest is rain. That's actually rule 4. And the reason being is because you can do absolutely everything correctly and still lose.
Right.
But that's hard to take I mean, we've all have had that where we've done everything we knew how to do.
Exactly.
And it doesn't work out. And you're like, what could I have done differently? And that's one of the hardest things to accept, right? Sometimes there is nothing to be done. You just got your ass kicked. That's all there is to it.
That's just what happened. Okay.
Yeah. So that's hard to accept. But see, now the moment you put these little caveats, I'm going to take baby steps. I'm not going to be as loud. I'm not going to be as quiet. You made the sting of failure a little easier to bear because you didn't put everything into it.
Yeah.
Right? That's fear of failure. But there's also a fear of success component. Let's talk about that, and let's flip that over. Say you succeed. What does success look like? And for everybody, that's a different thing, and that's a terrifying thought, right?
Yep.
So I always think success is the worst of the 2 fears, but it's either way, it's the same fear.
It is.
Right. It's the same.
I agree with you. It is.
So where I'm going to challenge you, just this might be like how maybe to make this a little easier to deal with. It might shut your imposter syndrome voice down. Imposter, like, oh shit, what's he going to say? Because how does he deal with this? This is when people talk about managing expectations. I go, and this is rule 9. Don't fall in love with an outcome. That's my 9th rule. And the reason that's a good rule, right? It's not quite rest as rain, because it's not like you can do everything. Like, you can't control the result.
Right.
But the idea is to detach yourself from the results.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. The idea is detach, because here's the thing, okay? Falling in love with an outcome is one of the most dangerous things human beings can do, because that's when we become closed-minded. That's when we become selfish. That's when we
right.
Because if we fall in love with an outcome, we have this tendency to defend it to the very end, even if it's wrong.
Right. Even if it's indefensible. You're right.
Right. So a better approach is, and this might be the approach you need to go forward with in this, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my best. I want a certain result, right? I want a certain result, but I'm going to do my best to get that result. But I'm not going to hold my breath if it doesn't happen. I'm not going to be right. I'm just going to do everything I can to succeed, right? And if I fail, I learn from it. If it's and just be honest enough. Was there anything I could have done differently that I knew about? If the answer is at the time, no, you did everything you could. Yeah. And at that point, it will still sting sometimes, but you'll be able to hold your head up high and say, I did my best. That is an expectation you can manage no matter how anxious you get.
Yeah. Right? Oh, sure. Oh, right? Sure. But something you said a couple of minutes ago, though, is really the most terrifying thing. What happens if you succeed? Like, literally, I felt my heart start racing when you said that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's not the.
But because it's the expectations that come with success.
It's because you did it. Even defining it. Like, it's even defining it. Like, I've been watching people on Twitter talk about, well, what is your idea of success? And I'm like, man, I'm gonna chew on that for a little bit. I think that I don't know that I've ever really sat down and said, I will consider this all a success if these things happen, right? I'm just kind of going along as we go and go, oh, cool, you got it, nominated for the award. That's great. That's cool. Okay, next thing. Okay, yeah, you sold this story. That's great. Cool. You sold this book. Great, cool. Yeah, these, folks in Hollywood wanted to see this. Oh, yeah, great. That's cool. I don't know that I ever really sat down and thought, okay, what does success look like? And the thought of even thinking about it lets me know that I need to do that. I need to start kind of marinating on that, because failure, the no's, I tell people all the time, no, don't bother me none. I am a Black woman born and bred in Texas. There's a whole lot of stuff that happens around here that ain't bothered me none. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody telling me no or rejecting something was going to have me into a quiver, and I would be like destroyed by now living here, So it's not the no's, it's the yeses. It's the yeses. It's like the yeses that you don't know if they come, then what? And I'm not talking about just, yes, we'll take your story. Yes, we'll, make it into this. I mean, but just then what? It's that part that I haven't really thought about a lot. That is frightening to me. Is okay, you're doing all this stuff. So now what? What does success even look like? Like, how do you know that you haven't already? How do you know it's not in your rear view? Like, how do you know? I don't even know.
I don't think it's in your rear view. So I'm gonna ask probably the hardest question I'm gonna ask. I don't usually ask this one on the air. What do you want?
Oh, what I want, I just want to write. That's it. I just want to write, and I want people to see what I wrote, engage with it in some kind of way.
Well, then you've already been successful.
Yeah, well, yeah, but see, there's obviously another part to that.
Oh, sure, there is. No. Because and I'm gonna. I guess. Let me. you know that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, you know you could do more.
Exactly.
And that voice is right. So it's funny. I had a conversation with my roommate I'm currently living with, because she is transitioning the mindset between being an employee and a freelancer.
Okay.
Right. That's a very, 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 very different mindset. I don't think
it
people
is.
Right. It's a very different mindset. An employee, there's a certain, for lack of a better word, conditioning that comes with being an employee.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Right. When you're a freelancer, you don't think like that at all.
Well, you can't, not if you want it to work.
No, you can't. Like this took me about a year to really figure this out. But once I figured it out, it made total sense. And that's why I'm a cocky son of a bitch, because I know I can do it. Because I understand what I'm trying to do. Which is where I'm going to go with you. But we're going to talk about my friend first, and we're going to go with you.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned something last night, and we talked about it. And there's something she's going to have to do. She's going to have to be a little ruthless in one way. But in one sense, that ruthlessness is actually a kindness. And I pointed that out to her because she needed to see it. Because I think one of the hardest things about a freelancer is you're trying to do something you love and make a living doing it.
Right.
So one of the hardest things you kind of accept as a freelancer is you have to set boundaries with how you deal with people. Because you're going, right? And you have to be, there's a balance between kindness and ruthlessness, because this is a business. Yes. And you have to have certain boundaries in place. But what freelancing is ultimately about is relationship building. So it's all in your approach. As an employee, you'll never consider this approach.
Right.
Because it's not in your vocabulary. But as a freelancer, that's your real bread and butter.
Yep.
It's the relationships you have with the people in your life.
Exactly.
So
money, relationships are money.
Yeah,
really.
They are.
They're good.
It's true. It's the absolute truth. So let's go to you. Because I think I know it. I think I know it. You're going to have to shift your mindset a little bit, because you can write.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not to teach, because I think I think that's in your DNA, broadly think or not. But I think with you, see, deep down, you know what it is that you need to do more, and that you can challenge yourself to do more. So you're not just a writer. You're not just a teacher. You're and you need to figure out what that phrase is, what you want to be, what you really want. Yeah, the writing thing, you want that, and you're still going to want that. But you want to do more with this. So does that look like a television show? Does that look like a video game? Does that look like and notice I'm being very specific on purpose here.
Right.
Because the more, this is how the human brain works. The more specific you get with a problem, the more you look to solve it, and the more your brain will focus on those things to solve.
Sure. I'm
just a writer that wants to be noticed is not very specific now.
Right.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And I really need to think about that. Because up to this point, that was cool. And I would literally say, like, maybe up until the past year or two, like, I was really good with that. I'm like, yep, I'm good with that. But now I'm like, but there's something like it's just out of reach. You don't know how to reach for it, though, if you haven't really, like, I believe in putting things out manifesting them. You say it, you write it. So yeah. So as soon as I figure that out, like I'm really good for, I saw that Octavia Butler had these affirmations that it's kind of going around where she hand wrote these things, and I can't show you the rest of my office. I have Post-it notes everywhere here with affirmations because that's the way my brain works. So I need to figure this out because I'm not going to stop. And I know that there's more. I kind of think I know the direction, but I need to think about that some. But yeah, I think that's it. That's a great idea. We have to do these things.
You do. The path forward is through your very fears and discomforts. That's the reality. And for you, that is your own expectations. That's for you specifically. That's what it's about.
And how did you say get out of your own way? I need rule 5 like plastered up on top, just because. And honestly,
would you like to hear all 9 rules?
Well, yes, give me all 9 of them. Let's see.
Rule 1.
I'm big in 5 and 9.
Show up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That I always amazed. Like this is the one thing I've learned in this life.
That's important.
Rule 2. I'm going to do this in non-PG way because I feel like you like it when I'm a little bit authentic. Let's also do your kind of thing. Do your shit. You know what you're supposed to do.
I'm with that. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Rule 3, the cliche: don't quit.
Okay.
Most people fail on rule 1 and rule 3.
Okay, I agree.
Now, I'm gonna make a small addendum to rule 3 because it's an important one. You can quit if it's not fun. Don't quit because it's hard. No. I said that very importantly because a lot of people think no. Listen, if it's not fun, I'm out. I'm too fucking old.
If it's torturous, if it's torturous, that's not the way anything's supposed to be.
No. So I'm fucking out. If that happens, I'm out.
Yep.
Rule 4, the rest is rain. You can't control the paradox of success is you can do everything right and still fail. Right. Consequently, if you don't do those steps at all, you will fail. So the rest is rain, except that you have no control. Rule 5, get out of your fucking way.
Yep.
Rule 6, be grateful, be thankful, always. Also, remember to appreciate those little victories in that moment.
Yes.
Rule 7, no excuses. There's none. Don't make them.
I like it.
Rule 8, stay uncomfortable. That's how you grow.
Exactly. Growth is uncomfortable. It always is.
And rule 9, although it does sound a lot like rule 4, it's not quite the same thing.
Right.
Do not fall in love with outcomes. Detach yourself from them. Focus on doing the journey. And if you can do that, you'll keep an open mind and see the opportunities that are in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I got to get out of my own way first.
For you, it's 5.
I'm very self-aware and I recognize all of these things. Like, yes, I understand the weakness, and that is one of them. Is like you in your own self way. Ain't nobody blocking your way but you. So,
but the fact that you know that means you're going to eventually come through. But yeah, think about what you want, and actually also, just because I know he would actually drive you a little bit, tell your husband this.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He is already there. He's already there. Yeah.
Again, he'll listen to this. If he does listen to this conversation, if I say, this guy here, I like this guy. Listen to
him. He's gonna say, see, because but he's a sweetie. He's not gonna beat me over the head with it.
No.
He's like, but what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Like I said, I'm just saying, I get the feeling he pushes you. I get the feeling you push him too. And I think he actually digs it when that happens.
Well, that's why we work so well together, because but I mean, and that is the thing. Like when I talk to him about these grandiose plans or this, that, or the other. He's always that one that's kind of, okay, you thought, and we're thinking about this. Okay, how does it make you feel? Right? How does that, what do you really think about that? And what are you gonna, okay.
Yeah, so, again, and that's a good man because he's like, I'll take this on. I don't care. But are you good with this? Right?
Exactly, and that's exactly him. That is him right there.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, because at the same time, he hears me talking about the challenges, right? Or he hears me talking about all the different other things that could possibly be problems, and he knows not to jump in and try to fix those if that's not the thing that I've actually asked of him. So, you know, you got to love a man.
That's a hard one for guys to learn. I mean, I certainly suffer from that problem too. It's like, I want to fix it. I want to fix it. Right. It's how we're wired. It's legitimately how we're wired. What I have a co-host for my immigration. So it's like, all you guys are the same. It's like, there's only one caveat to this, and then I back up. If you're legitimately suffering, let us solve your problem. Don't fucking no. Sometimes you guys hang on to things longer than you should, right? And then this is the flip side of that.
Yes,
right? This is the flip side.
True. This is true. Yeah.
Right. So it's a delicate balance. I'm not going to say I've certainly have fucked up on being Superman and trying to jump in and solve the problem. I certainly have fucked this up. But at the same time, that's how we're wired. We're wired to look at a problem and get rid of it. That's just how what we are. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. But at the same token, he's come to that point in his life. He sounds like he's a little wiser than me. He's like, okay, what do you really want me to solve? And and what do you really want me to solve? And what's not going to waste my time? Right? Because that's it. That's it.
Well, and we've known each other, oh my gosh, for 23, 24 years anyway. So yeah, so he knows me well enough to know that if when I get ready for help, I'm going to say flat out, hey, can you help a sister out? If I don't say that, that means I'm still chewing on it in my own head. And he just kind of gives me the space to do that, you know? So
he's a good man.
Yeah. Yes, he really is. Yeah, very supportive.
No, I just say that because, like I said, it's a lesson I still fall short on myself. It's a hard one. It's a hard one, right? So,
well, I'm sure he's a tad more seasoned than you are. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure, and again, I'm sure he's made that mistake himself more than
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We all have.
Yeah, it's just how we're wired. It's totally how we're wired. But yeah, I bring all this up just because, again, I want you to succeed. I don't truly think everybody can get what they want in this life. And in fact, the only one, you want a true horror story, everybody does. It's one thing I've learned in this life.
Right. Oh my gosh, I'm sure there was a Twilight Zone episode like that or something. If not, there should have been. But yeah.
It's the true horror story. My motivation for today, I do my motivations on my Facebook board. I don't know if you saw any of them or not. The one I said today, really, the biggest battle we have as a person is I can do it versus I can't do it. And there are things, and some of that is just trying to understand our limitations.
Right.
Some of that, though, is what we tell. It's all about what we tell ourselves. We are who we tell ourselves we are.
Right.
That's a horrifying superpower. That's an amazing power. That means we can literally be anything we want to be.
We can be anything.
Yeah. That is power beyond belief.
Yep.
But you better respect it.
Yes, wield it. Yes, wield it cautiously. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I said. So and it sounds to be like Miss Rhonda, the leapfrog spider glitter person. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm never gonna not know you like that.
Yeah. I know. We meet up at a con. We're gonna be like, hey, what's up, Frogger Glitter? It's great.
Yeah. Oh no. If we made a clock, we're doing Frogger. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're gonna do Frogger.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get a little limber. That was a couple.
Yeah, no. That's fine. Like I said, but no, we're doing it. Screw that. Right. No. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on the floor
without the spiders, right? No spiders.
No spiders. No,
okay,
no
spiders. Okay, all right.
I might throw a toy in there just so people. You'll get like a glitter ass spider so people get the joke.
Okay, that's crazy, but yes, glitter spider.
They get no spiders.
It's pretend. It's gotta be pretend. Okay, yeah. Okay, see, because you on my team, right? No spiders. No
okay, a glittered frog or something. Anyway, right? So it's like we gotta show people like it's gotta be like a joke that people can get.
Right.
People will look at us like, "What the hell are you doing? We're playing Frogger. You want to join us?" I'll make you a bet too. If we actually did that, and then people would say, "Wait, what are you doing? We're playing Frogger on the floor." I'm all about the glitter and frogs.
Okay. Yes, you are my people. Okay.
Yes. So like, I bet you we could start our Frogger line on a convention floor. I bet you we could do it.
Okay. See the way that our writer people work. Yeah, absolutely. That would be the thing.
I'm just telling you, right?
I know it would work. I know you're right. You're right. Our people would do that.
Not just our people. Everybody would do that. Are you kidding me? All you got to get is like 3 people to do it. And if everybody's starting to do it, are you kidding? That would be a whole giant event.
This is the best activity at this con. Who organized this?
That's right. It's like, why did you?
I should.
I totally would be guilty of it. I wouldn't care. It's like, hey, it's like, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Mostly to play a joke on Rhonda because I know, right? But
we had to.
Yeah, we had to. And then you know what I'd be doing? Want to play, and you watch the big angry security guard start to blush because he'll want to play.
Yes. Exactly.
Like, yeah, see, that's human nature right there.
Okay,
right?
So we have a date. We have a date.
Done,
whatever comes, it's done.
No, we go. I'll go probably sometime in Texas, probably within the next year or 2. I'm gonna go down there, and when I go down there, FroggerCon. We're gonna just do it. We're just gonna create a giant like Frogger-esque event.
And you're saying that there is going to be a festival here because we hardly ever have things here, but there's gonna be Max Booth the 3rd is kind of pulling it together. I think it's going to be April. I can't remember what it's called. Ghoulish Fest. I'll have to send you the info.
No, totally. Yeah.
It's shaping up to be like a funky good time. So April might be good.
Again, we'll see how weird the world is at that time.
Right.
But I'm gonna let you know, I kind of openly don't give a shit. I'm probably gonna be like a partial pirate going forward, like the next like few years anyway. So it's just like I just don't give a fuck. It's like, why did you cross the border? I wanted to play Frogger in Texas. Leave me the fuck alone. Hey, leave me the fuck alone. And they're gonna look at me like I'm the craziest guy. It's like, no, fuck this shit. Life's too short. I'm gonna play Frogger in Texas with my friends, and
they're gonna let you come.
Yeah, and that's it. And everybody's gonna look at me like I'm the craziest motherfucker on the planet. But you know what? Life's too short.
And you're gonna get through. Yeah, they're gonna let you know.
Yeah, exactly. Tell the truth. I have gotten away with more shit telling the truth than I ever have lying because I'm just so openly crazy that
I wish you could tell my kids that. Just tell the truth, man. It's not even gonna be what you thought it was.
Well, no, it's like so. When I was in Windsor, Ontario, I did a job interview for a gig, and I broke my job interview because I was just honest. I'm not thinking about this too hard.
Right.
And it's like, he goes, what could you work on? It's like, I could be a little bit more organized. I'm just being honest about it. You know? It's like, if I was being just like, I'd be a little bit more organized. I'm not perfect.
Exactly.
So this guy, he broke when I said that. He just broke, right? Or he broke. And I looked at him. It's like, it's not so funny. It's like, I know it's not funny, but this is so refreshing. There's no bullshit. There's
right.
None, right?
Yes. That is the life that I aspire to, you know. But I mean, you have the teenagers, and I get why they don't answer honestly. Like, I get it. But like when they do, I'm like, see, that was way better. It's crazy as hell, but it's better, you know? Like now we can deal with each other on an even playing field. This is authenticity, right?
Well, it's like this. Why did you do this? Because I did this. It's like, it's not an answer. It's like, it's just, well, I felt like it. But it's wrong. It's like, to be perfectly honest with you, sir, I don't give a shit about that. I'm just me.
That
if I truly gave a shit, I wouldn't have done it.
Yes, I respect that.
Yeah,
that is what I'm looking for, and I just can't get them to understand it because I'm like, okay, when you come at me with I did it because so and so did it, but I'm looking at you and I know that's not why you did it. Like I just want some authenticity.
Well, the best part about it too is it's almost impossible to be punished this way too, because it's like it's almost impossible because it's like they can look at me. It's like, well, there's consequences. Like whatever. They'll just look at you. It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I did this, and I don't.
Exactly.
I own it.
Exactly.
There's almost nothing you can do. We can, I mean, if they're the big prick, well, we can make you uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not even my goal. I just want them to be authentic. If totally.
Be
honest.
Just be honest and authentic, and don't hold back.
Exactly.
Right? You don't necessarily have to say everything. There is a way of being honest without saying everything. And
exactly. Exactly.
But you just gotta be just real. Like I already know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and I truly and honestly don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. And
that's good.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And will it be completely copacetic to the rules out there? Probably not. I openly don't give a damn. So again, it's you can't punish a guiltless man. You can't.
Exactly. No, you can't. Exactly. But you shouldn't live with guilt anyway. Nobody should.
But again, like guilt, fear, and shame are the biggest levers of control in the world.
Yes.
So, but ironically, the way out is honesty.
Right.
That's actually the way out of it is, right? Is if you're honest, there's nothing to be said or done because, well, I owned it.
Right. So, there's nothing beyond that.
Yeah, it's like I owned it. So what are you gonna do? They're gonna look at it, right? And that's it. And there's nothing anyone can do to me. And it's just like, and would you do it again? It's like probably. And that's it, right? I don't give a damn, right? And that's it. And that's all there is to it. It's like if you have to punish me. And here's the other thing too. If you're still gonna get punished for it anyway, because you're honest about it, the punishment is almost always less severe too.
And yes, and that is exactly my point to the teens. Is like if I just have to do it, then yeah, but it's not going to be the same as when I know you're just really not being honest. It's not going to nearly be the same. I wish that one of them would take me up on it so that I could show them, it's like, be honest about it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Well, and I say that, but the 15-year-old yesterday was very honest about a thing. And I just kind of went, okay, so we know we're not going to do that again. Right. Okay, cool. And she kind of was left standing in the kitchen, kind of like, oh, that was it. So now that I think about it, this happened just yesterday. So I'm very glad about that. But she thought the teacher had emailed me about something and the teacher had not. So she told me herself. And then she's like, I really wasn't doing that. I was doing this part, but I wasn't really doing that. And that's what happened. Okay. All right. Not to do that other part again. Okay, great. We're good.
Or it's like, or if you are going to do it again, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, the part that she shouldn't have done again was the teacher didn't want them on their phones. And so she was on the phone in the class. And I was like, yeah, if that's the rule, you kind of can't do that part. But the whole, you not, necessarily engaging and talking to, you don't have to do that part. So, okay, you didn't do it. Okay. But if that's the classroom rule, you got to be a good classroom citizen. Go outside, talk on the
phone. So again, this is one of those things where I'm a human. I just been around the human experience too much. I'm not going to say don't do it again. Because you're going to.
I'm sure she is. Oh, this one, I'm sure she is because she's a little chatterbox. But
yeah, I'd be more like along the lines of fuck, don't do it again. It's like, no, you're gonna do it again. Just own it. Just fucking own it.
She's gonna do it again.
Yeah,
she's pretty good about being a good classroom citizen, though. So, but she was honest about it, and so that was the end of that. There wasn't anything. It didn't need to be. It was done.
And again, she's also at the age too, where she's going to make her own decisions in her life, and you got to kind of let her take the consequences of those actions, right?
Exactly.
Right? And at the same time, you don't have to be necessarily at this point with her life. Your mom comes to the rescue if she really needs it. Not right. Nope. Not you're not no more. You're not really. I'm going to punish you anymore because really you're too old. You're getting too old for that shit.
Exactly.
I'm getting too old to do it.
Yeah. I'm getting too old to do it. Really.
Yeah. So I say it like that because again they're just. When kids are old enough to start making their own decisions, when they actually start thinking through the consequences of their actions,
right.
When they start doing that, they don't really need you to make decisions anymore for them. What they need at that point, going full circle here, is permission. Right, permission to make those decisions. You're right, and I'm there, and she's there. They're there. Like, thankfully, our youngest are 15, so yeah, no more babies, no more toddlers.
Yeah,
because those ones you have to be a tyrant. You have to be a tyrant.
Oh, yeah.
If the toddler,
they are.
Well, no, that's it. Like, parents have to be tyrants, right? Because it's the job description until a kid can make their own decision. If the toddler wins the battle at the home, the parent fails, right?
Absolutely.
Right. If the 14-year-old is able to make their own decisions and you're letting them make their own decisions, you've won. Now you're just waiting for them to figure the rest of the shit out, and that will just come with time.
Exactly.
Right. So that's it. Right. So
that's it.
I say all that, and I, as a parent myself, just as someone that just recognizes, I became an adult when I just basically said, I'm going to do what I damn well want, and I'm willing to pay the price for it.
And that's it. Bingo. Yeah. That's it. Yep.
That's it.
That's it. That's totally the whole thing.
Yep. And to the rest of it, I just don't give a shit. And then that comes when you're even older. You just realize that.
Oh, yes. Oh, tell me about it. I just turned 50. And when I say I am firmly entrenched, don't give not one. I give not one.
You care less than I do. And
it's like, nope, I don't have time for all that.
So like I said, so you give a crap, and I barely give a crap now. I realize this.
Yes,
I'm surly. I say no a lot. I don't cooperate one damn bit.
It's very freeing. It's very freeing.
Oh, absolutely. But even more than that, it's you recognize something very like. I live in Canada. Mm-hmm. Canadians are sometimes too nice. And the thing is, you're right. It's sometimes so. Living in the States taught me how to be ruthless.
Okay. Right. I can see that. Yeah.
It taught me how, because in the United States, a too nice person gets run over far too often.
Absolutely.
In Canada, we're a young country, mm-hmm. and we haven't gone through the same adversities a lot of other countries have. In some ways, we're younger. We're 125, 130 years old. Something like we're a young country.
Okay.
Like you guys have had civil wars. You guys have had major civil rights movements and battles in the open. Not in this like quiet little polite way we do up here.
Right. Right. Yeah. Loud, boisterous, blood. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here's the thing. That gave you, again, that's taught you all how to be a certain degree of ruthless, but you also have certain expectations.
Right.
Right. So Canadians often get stuck in I'll cooperate because it's the right thing to do. And sometimes that's actually not the correct answer. The correct answer is I'm going to be a disobedient motherfucker because I don't give a damn and I think this sucks. And again, United States, a lot of you know how to do that. You're great at it. Maybe sometimes too good at it.
That's sometimes,
sometimes a little too good at that. But the thing is, at least you stand up for yourselves. That's what I learned that's what I've learned about in the United States. And so I've gotten to a point now. It's like, you don't treat me the way I think I should be treated. I'm out.
Yep.
Right. You don't pay me enough money. Don't give a fuck.
Yep. I'm bouncing. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I don't care. Yeah, right. I just don't care. I don't need to suffer needlessly.
Right.
Come to that realization. I'm going to get something out of this, or I'm just going to run amok. And that's just it, right?
Running amok. We all should run amok.
I agree with that far more right now than most people do. But that's another conversation for another day. But I just bring it all up like this because some people never learn that. And what I realize is you got to be being uncooperative, saying no, setting boundaries for yourself again, going back to something I said earlier when we were talking about freelancing. What this is about, I'm not doing this just to be a dick, mostly. I'm doing this because deep down on the inside, I want to be respected, loved, and appreciated for who I am. That means at some point, and it's just how life works, you have to learn to fight for it.
Yes, you do. You have to do that. It's a weird human-y kind of a thing though, because if you don't fight for it, then it doesn't seem like it's worth that. So in order to give it the worth, you have to be willing to go balls to the wall for it, just like, boom, this is it. It's going to be this way or that's it. Right?
Some things come easy to us all, but sometimes the things we truly, really want, almost always, it's almost like are you ready to go in, possibly get your ass kicked for it? Why, yes, I am.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why I'm doing it. Yep.
That's right. That's it. Teenagers they have the fire for it, but they don't have the direction for it. Right. When you become an adult, you're trying to figure out all these things. What do I want? How am I going to do this? What am I waiting for? Not waiting for shit. But that takes a long time to figure that out. Wait. Right. Just go do it. Just go do it.
Exactly.
Who cares? Right? Who cares? Just go and do things and let things fall as they will. Don't be afraid of the beating, because guess what? Life's going to give you a beating anyway. So you might as well get what you damn well want out of it. And then
you may as well.
Yeah.
I feel you. I agree.
I somehow get the feel. I get this feeling. Your husband and me would get along fantastic. Right. And I also get this feeling. Yep. I also get this feeling that me and you are going to have a hell of a Frogger game down the road.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Miss Rhonda, I think we have an interview here. Actually, we probably should freaking talk about your books before we go. Wrap this up.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it like this. Why horror?
Well, why not her? But that is the thing that I've always been drawn to. I mean, I was always a weird little dark-hearted little kid. I mean, dark skin, dark heart. Always walking with the monsters, wanting to know why can't I be the monster? And so yeah, I kind of couldn't quit it. It's like that line from Brokeback Mountain. I think, I wish I knew how to quit you. I've tried tons of times. It just doesn't stick, because all the time it's like, oh, but I love you and come on back and let's do this.
It's how you have fun.
It really is how I have fun. And it's how I put all this stuff into perspective. Like this just the whole world around me. Like to me, it's more frightening than anything that I could write. So
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
the world. Hey, look, so one of my favorite lines from all time comes from a line in Rocky Balboa. The world is a mean and nasty place, and it will beat you on your knees till you let it.
Oh,
Right?
yes. Yep.
So you
Agreed.
make peace with the monsters, because
Exactly.
if you can do that, you can slay some dragons.
Exactly. Well, yes, and give some understanding to the monsters, because because I do a lot of academic writing too, but my academic writing is mostly about her, so they kind of still play together really well. That's a
So
good
you're like, so it's like I get to write about monsters like doing cool shit all the time. Then I get to writing about monsters that do cool shit all the
Exactly.
time.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a life I live, right? It all works hand in hand, just like this.
Little jelly. I'm not again, for me, my true heart is well, I'm one of those crazy, I wrote Alice in Wonderland in Greek mythology, and I mashed it together.
Yeah, I was looking at that on your site just today. I need to dig more deeply into that. You say it's coming out December?
Second book, yeah. The first book's already kind of out, so you can go you can go read the first one. It's a short one.
Okay.
Because so the first book was originally going to be part of an anthology, because I was requested to write it.
Okay.
And the second book's actually the first full story, which is but the first story is still really good. Alice wakes up, opens Pandora's box, wakes up in an insane asylum with cards as her captors, right? That's the first book.
Okay.
The second book, she chases the Queen of Hearts into the underground, where she has to play croquet against Jason of the Argonauts, which is.
Shut up. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
I promise you, the second book is there's some horror in there. I'll give you one little tidbit. Undead Hydra.
Really?
Okay,
see, I was already sold, I was already sold with Jason and Argonauts, and now it's a done deal. Boom.
Yeah. So you just pick up both books. The first one's nominated for an Elgin Award. I do shit. I don't.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I just do shit. I don't.
Nice.
Yeah. And again, do I have an ego? Yes. But I honestly don't. You have to. Yes. You have to. But also, but I mean, but something this is going back full circle, and then we'll talk about like what your most recent book release is, and then we'll go from there to plug and wrap up. You have to really recognize, it's, for me, I want to write like this. This is who I am. I want to write about books about overcoming fear, exploring the world of magic and wonder and terror in the process. That's who I am. And if it sounds like Green Lantern from DC Comics, it's not entirely untrue. That's what I grew up reading. All right. But at the same time, I also explored the mediums of how to create the mediums of storytelling too. I'm drawing my first story. You want to talk about terrifying?
Nice.
You want to talk about terrifying? Yeah. I started drawing a year ago. Seriously. Really? Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you're still doing it. And I bet you're getting way better. You probably started out good at it. Is it something you already were good at? You just never pursued?
No. Again, so we were talking about expectations at the very beginning. You talk about what if it sucks? So the answer to that question is, so what? Because it doesn't matter, right? So what?
You're still gonna do it. Yeah, you're still gonna do it.
Well. Once I had that thought, because I was terrified. Because once again, when I was a kid, I didn't worry about drawing because it wasn't important. I still told stories, and I still love to write, and I still write, and I still love doing it. But it's about telling stories, and I recognized something. It's like there was this like inner thing of, well, what if it's bad? And I've always told myself I was bad. Now I had another voice just come out of nowhere and say, so what if it's bad? Just do it, right? Just fucking do it. I'm not so bad anymore. I still have a long way to go, but I'm not so bad anymore.
But we all do. We all have. There's always room for improvement. Always.
Absolutely. And I already know where I want to go with it, though. So I'm slowly working my way to where I want to go. It's not. Now I'm not quite at baby steps anymore. I'm at the point now where I'm going to start taking actual steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. again, I'm trying my first, Jesus, right? But
Yeah,
again,
it's just the idea of it, but you're doing it.
well, yeah, but I
Kudos to
mean,
you. You're doing it.
again, the path to growth is the fears and things that make you uncomfortable. Going full circle to you, figuring out specifically what you want to accomplish, because although I have only talked to you for a little over an hour, almost 2 hours, I know you can do it. And it's not like me just being just a platitude. I know you can do it. Just find what you're looking for, and I promise you, it'll take you places. For you, the discomfort is the map you must draw to get to where you must go next.
Yes, and you're right. That and I like the way you put that. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. It's like, okay.
Well, it's like plotting a book, right? Now, grant you, you might go off the rails with the map. That doesn't matter either. What matters is that you did the map.
Yeah, exactly. That the map exists. You're right. Sometimes that journey, though, one thing that I have found is throughout this whole thing, my whole life has been a series of falling into stuff. And I don't mean that to be trite, but I do believe in destiny. Like I think you said earlier, we're here to do a job. And I know that these are the things I was meant to do, but I've never had to really do a lot of plotting. It's always been la, 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 la. I'm writing, oh, bloop, I fell into this hole. Well, there's a big hole. This is what the hole that I need to fill up. Okay, la, 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 la. Going into academia, accidentally, bloop, I fell into another hole. It's like, oh, well, this is what you do to get out. This is how I've kind of done these things, right? And I know that it's the path I was supposed to have, but I'm getting to the point where I think sometimes some intention might be helpful. It might be helpful to kind of do that, because I mean, I've kind of accidentally done these other things already. And I say accident, must put it in quotes. That's what I was supposed to do. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, there might need to be some intention behind this particular part though. And I'm actually okay with it. I just need to sit with it and kind of suss through.
No. I get it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a Green Lantern fan. Cool thing is, whatever construct he imagines becomes real, right?
Yep.
It's about faith overcoming fear. That's why I love that. Right. So I do believe in destiny. Yes. I accidentally wrote and got published traditionally. I accidentally won an award. Right. My life is filled. So since we started off with terrible spiders, we went to glitter, but I might as well just end this with cookies. One of the greatest accidents of all time was somebody accidentally put chocolate chips in the cookie dough.
That was an accident, really?
That was an accident. Someone accidentally did it. So here's the moral of the story. Accidents aren't bad things.
They are not. They haven't been. They really haven't been. So I know I'm fortunate that way, but yes, they're not. They don't have to be bad. They've actually been pretty good for me. And for you too, apparently.
Just go with the flow. Like, don't be like if it's there, go with it, right? But that all said, what's your latest? So I guess we're coming. Like I say, I think we do have a very fun interview here, and I feel we could talk forever. Unfortunately, I have my obligations with a show that comes out every Thursday. I must do tonight. But before I go, tell me about your latest book. Tell people where can fun they find it too.
Okay, so I have a couple of things coming up in March. There's going to be a short story in an anthology slasher with Candisha Press about women slashers, women horror writers. That's kind of exciting. And then in April, I have a couple of poems in Under Her Skin, a body horror poetry collection, or anthology, I should say. And then my first short story collection comes out in August next year. So needless to say, yes, I'm so excited. I notice I say first because it seems that as a short story writer, I wrote these stories for so long, I never stopped to think what else to do with them. So apparently I have almost enough stories for a second collection. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. We'll start shopping that around, but I just want to get into the first one first,
That's fair. Yeah. So you want to do this when your short story collection comes out again next year, and then we'll figure out. figure out how we map the future, you know, and yeah. And maybe we talk about our Frogger game somewhere at some convention somewhere.
Yes, well, and if it hasn't already happened, right? Because it might already happen. We might have footage of it. Even.
Exactly. And I know Jag's listening to this. She's just shaking his head. It's like, you would. It's like, you're damn right I would.
Yes.
So how can people find you? How can people find you?
Mostly I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, not writing, at R Jackson Joseph. I find that Twitter kind of suits all of my personalities. You know.
Is it that one?
Yep.
There you go.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah, so
Twitter suits me too. Actually, I find we won't go into this too much. I find Facebook's too homogenized for my taste. That's the
yeah. I think that's a good descriptor. It's just kind of a lot. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go and look for you as soon as we get off. Yeah. I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have a lot of family on Facebook, and my mother. Sure. Oh goodness, bless her. So she hates technology. She joined. My sister made her a Facebook account so she could watch church online. And so now she's on Facebook, and I'm like, gotta watch what I put on Facebook because my mom is on there. I'm on Twitter. So yeah, Twitter is a whole different thing.
I'm just me. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't hold myself back. I am not capable of it.
Well, my mother is the epitome of the Southern Baptist Black seasoned woman that clutches the pearls and the thing, and I'm just like, ooh, it's only certain. Yeah, Twitter is where I'm gonna do the my mama not here.
I got me some scripture if I ever needed to get out of a log jam with someone like that. She'll look at me and she'll give me like this evil frown. I'll be like, yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is, she's usually pretty okay about a lot of stuff. It's just that when it comes to some of the stuff that's in my stories, like I don't know why she waited till now to start actually reading them. But you over there really reading what I wrote, and I wasn't ready. But you know, the great Joe Lansdale said once in an interview, he said something to the effect of, "Write like everybody you know is dead." And I'm paraphrasing. And I'm like, man, that is the best writing advice I ever got. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, sometimes I have to say, Mama, you might not want to read that one, though. Don't read that one. You can read the other one, but not that one.
Mama, I have a dirty mind. And sometimes the mama will say, I got a dirtier one. It's like, oh, shit.
But when it comes to horror, it's just that's the thing. Is she is. But, you know, to her credit, she's a trooper. She's reading some of the stuff. And she actually read one anthology. They had like little drabbles in it, like 100-word drabbles. She was like, well, I read yours. She said, but I read a lot of the other ones. I think I want to read all of them. And I was like, really? They're horror? Really? Whatever works. She's a fan. She's a fan of that book.
That's the best thing ever.
That's the best thing ever. We made a convert.
So Rhonda, what are you teaching at Specular Fiction Academy, by the way?
I'm teaching the nonfiction and creative nonfiction classes. So, you know, think essays, book reviews, academic essays, abstracts, academic presentations, anything nonfiction is kind of under my box there. Yes. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm really glad that to be a part of that, though, because I'm trying to take all of y'all's classes. Like I just have to sit down and decide what am I going to do first.
Yeah,
right?
My podcast class is up, and that was interesting. Like that one has everything from how to do an audio podcast to video podcast, but I even do audiobook stuff in there just to show people how you can do it. So
yeah, oh cool. Yeah. So that's another class.
You're gonna do another one? It's already there. Yeah, it's already up there. It's all up there.
Okay, cool. Yes. So that's the only thing is I got to decide which ones to take first.
Yeah. If you do take mine, let me know how you think of it.
Okay. Okay. Right. I will do.
You are a teacher, and I got plenty to learn. Trust me. It's contrary to popular belief. I am sometimes humble. Sometimes. And that will do it, ladies. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Just Joshing. Rhonda, hey, like I said, anytime you want to come back, you are more than welcome to come back. I have no problem with that.
All right. Yes.
For everybody watching and listening, definitely hit the follow button on my Twitch. Twitch TV. That'd be cool. Beyond that, I'm just trying to get my hands on the. There's one last link I'm going to share for everybody because I'm just been doing that every day, and that is my next book release, which is Alice in Wonderland's Greek Mythology, and that is coming out December 1st. The pre-order is up and available right now. Like I said, I'm doing this on the air because I'm a trained professional and stuff like that.
Yes, cool.
Professional. There's the link to the pre-order if you want to pre-order it. To everybody watching, I got a really cool one. Mahi Reed, romance author, is my drink and draw guest tomorrow. We're going to be drawing something. She's better at it than me, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. No, I'm going to have a blast. Yes. Oh, thanks, Jag. I hope so. I hope you like it. But yeah. Yes, that's the next one, the one I'm drawing, which comes out in that looks like March. We'll see. But it looks like March.
Okay.
But that all said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Actually, not tomorrow night. Sorry, Thursday. Thursday, my guess is, I'll put this up there right now. I'm doing a Dark Tower riff with the one and only Kat Hudson. Right? Kat Hudson and me are coming back, and all we're doing is talking Dark Tower because that we promised we'd do that, and that's what I'm doing for my next episode. So if you want to hear us talk, if you want to hear us talk about the Dark Tower and Katet and Roland and the ending and why it broke me into a zillion tears, that'll be the one. Beyond that, check out Rhonda. She's awesome and amazing. We had a really good talk, and if you see us leapfrogging in a convention near you, it was all my idea.
It really was.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for having me, Josh. Thanks a lot. And nice to meet you too. Y'all have a good night.